Okay, so you probably had a chance to read through the applied problem. Part 1 says, write an equation that models the amount of fat and protein that the individual consumes in order to reach 1,800 calories. They said the only other type of energy source, carbohydrates, is 400 calories. So we've got 400 calories from carbohydrates. Oops. We don't know how many calories from fat. We don't know how many calories for protein, but we know if we add them all together, it's 1,800 calories. So that's all we have to do for part 1. That's an equation that represents the amount of fat and protein to get us to that goal. The diet, here, this says 3 times. I'm going to say 4 times. Not much different, but it says the diet says 4 times of your calories need to come from protein as compared to fat. So students either write this or they write this. Which one is right? Well, you can plug in some numbers. Let's just make it a really basic number that's easy to think about. Let's say that there is 1 calorie of protein. This says to get F by itself, you have to divide 4. That means you need 1/4 of a calorie from fat. So 1 protein means 1/4 of a calorie from fat. Or let's take that in reverse. What if we have 1 calorie of fat? This equation says that protein is going to be 4. And that's what we want, right? We want 4 times as much protein, which means we want more protein than fat. This equation makes sense. Look down here. If protein equals 1, then fat equals 4. That would make fat be 4 times the amount of protein. It says protein is 4 times the fat. So this is the equation that I want. An ugly 4. Okay. Part 3 asks you to put this together. Look, it's a system of equations. These are 2 equations made up from 2 distinct facts. So in order to solve, we want to solve it like a system of equations. There's our first one. There's our second one. And this is a nice substitution problem. Protein is 4 times the amount of fat. So instead of protein, I'm going to put 4F in its place. So rewriting that top equation with our substitution. That's what we got to solve. Okay? So we got 1F plus 4F makes 5F. And you can subtract that 400 from both sides of the equal sign. So you're going to get 5F equals 1,400. So that's 5 times F. I'm going to divide 5 from both sides, so F is going to be something. 280. So 280 calories from fat. And then to find out the protein, you plug in 280 times 4. Because protein is 4 times as much. So 1,120. I think that's a little unrealistic, but I made up different numbers for this. Okay, so look, there's 2 variables here. I don't want to give away the answer to part 4, but look, with this equation, with this system of equations, there's 2 letters, 2 things that can fluctuate, fat and protein, okay? What if we change it so that you no longer have the 400 calorie requirement? You could let calories be C. It could be whatever you want. Instead of 2 variables, how many would you have?